So, if you're new here, welcome. And this is just going to be a quick update on what's going on. So, let's get into it. Okay, so in case you haven't been following this situation, I was on Benlysta and mycophenolate, or brand name Cellcept, and I just couldn't eat on it. So I went back on a medication I had previously taken, but it just didn't do enough. It wasn't doing much for me. But I couldn't deal with the side effects of the mycophenolate. So as I came off the Cellcept and onto the Imuran, or generic for azathioprine, my symptoms started getting worse and worse. And this started with severe exhaustion. I just could not get up in the morning. I was exhausted all day. It was hard to stay awake. It was just horrible. Like driving to work feeling like I'm going to fall asleep. So it was getting scary. And then a lot of joint pain. And then I had this whole incident where I had I woke up with severe pain in between my shoulder blades. It was really nasty. It lasted all day. They had to call it a flexeril, a muscle relaxer, basically. And that did help, but it was very painful. And that just kind of let me know that this is not going to work. So I called my rheumatologist. I got an appointment right away, and I'm coming off the azathioprine and going on leflunomide, which is generic for Arava. Arava is an RA med. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath for some reason. Yeah, it's an RA medication. I've never taken this before, so I'm really nervous about it. Some of the side effects can be like liver failure, I believe, permanent liver damage. It's just really scary. It even says, liver damage ending in death. It's scary. I haven't started it yet because I'm nervous. And I wanted to wait till I had a few days off in a row because I do not know what this medication is going to do to me. The last time I tried an RA medication, that was methotrexate, and I had a very bad reaction to that. You might have seen that in much older videos, but I had a really bad reaction that lasted over a month. So I want to make sure I at least have a few days off to see what this is going to do to me. So I did a dose pack, a Medrol dose pack of steroids, and first of all, I don't mean to jump around here, but the steroids are making it a little hard to focus. The first thing they said in the rheumatologist's office was, well, why don't we just keep you on a higher dose of steroids? And I was like, absolutely not. I will not ever do long-term steroids again. No, not an option. Respectfully, not an option. I'm sorry. And that's when they mentioned the Arava. What they didn't tell me is all the side effects, and I was just reading how this medication can stay in your system for, I think it was 1 to 2 years, if I remember correctly. And there's a whole medication regimen to get it out of your system faster than that. I hope I was misreading this, but I don't think so. So the thing is, we know that predominantly these autoimmune diseases, especially lupus, affect women more than men by quite a large amount. And my concern with this for younger women of childbearing age is if this med stays in your system for 1 to 2 years, and it helps you get into remission, well, then what? Because for women, especially if you've had to wait to try to have children because of your disease activity, and then you get in remission, 1 to 2 years could be the difference between advanced maternal age or not. And we're already high risk. So that's kind of not so great, in my opinion. That's a long time for something to stay in your system. So I'm not too thrilled about that. But yeah, I've already done one Medrol dose pack, and they wanted me to do the second one to try to help me like get out of this funk that I've been in until this starts working, this new medication. And they said it could take about 6 weeks to have the full effect of the medication. Fine, I understand. Most of these drugs are not fast acting. They're just generally not. So this is where I'm at. I'm now having a really hard time sleeping. It's like impossible to fall asleep. And usually the THC tincture works, but it's not working as well as it normally would, obviously, if I wasn't taking steroids. I do think it is still helping. I think without that, it would be worse. But still, I'm not getting a lot of good sleep because of the steroids. And they wanted me to take this like ongoing, long term. So this is where I'm at. Well, I am on TikTok now. And if you're here from TikTok and that's how you found this channel, hi, thank you for stopping by and checking my channel out. But I had someone on TikTok comment on a video, and she was basically saying that she was diagnosed with one autoimmune disease and then they changed the diagnosis to another, and this happened like a couple of times. I hear this a lot, and even when you're in the process of trying to initially get a diagnosis, they'll change what they think you have going on. Like initially they were doing all kinds of MRIs looking for lesions on the brain for MS with me. Then they moved on to doing all these x-rays. I feel like I've had every joint x-rayed, seriously, for RA. Then they moved on to lupus. So even once you have a diagnosis, you can end up with an additional diagnosis like lupus and RA. Like I'm on Benlysta and now an RA medication. You know, I just think that we don't know enough about these autoimmune diseases, what causes them, really how they work. The immune system is very complicated. And to be honest, with a disease that mostly affects women, I don't even think I need to go any further. If you're a woman, you know exactly where I'm going with that. So it is what it is. So yes, this happens. This is not just you. You're not alone in this. It could change again. And also, I've always found it a little bit odd that the medical community wants to really compartmentalize, oh, well, if it's in the joints, it's RA, and if it's doing this in this perfect little box of diagnostic criteria, then it's lupus. And I just don't think that your immune system is confined to one area. I mean, when you get cut or have a virus, it doesn't matter where white blood cells need to go to, they're going to go there. I don't think inflammation is any different, or your immune system attacking its own healthy tissue is any different. I don't think your immune system is going to be just confined to joints, and I think that these autoimmune diseases can evolve. I mean, this is just my opinion, obviously, but really, I mean, if you have Hashimoto's, and let's say, you know, you have a positive TPO and your immune system is attacking your thyroid, then there's really nothing, you know, saying that your immune system is just going to stay attacking your thyroid. That might happen for some people, I guess, but a lot of people I talk to, it starts out that way and progresses into lupus or some other type of autoimmune disease. So I don't know why they compartmentalize it like that, because your immune system doesn't really work that way, from my understanding. I hope that answers your question, or at least I mean, this is really only my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt, but I hope that just at least gives you some comfort in knowing. I've talked to a lot of people that have had this happen to them, and you're not alone in that. So the other thing I want to mention for you specifically is do your own research and make sure that you have a good doctor, because they're not all the same. If you don't trust what they're telling you, or it doesn't sound right, or you just have a gut feeling, trust it and get a second opinion or a third opinion or a fourth even if you need to. But, you know, if they're changing your diagnosis and they've changed their mind like 3 or 4 times, it might be a good idea to get another opinion and be very careful in how you choose your doctor. So I have never tried, like I said, this flunomide or Arava, this RA med, and I'm a little nervous. I'm going to keep you guys updated on how that goes. But if any of you guys have already tried this medication, please let me know what your experience was in the comment section. This is where you guys could really help me out in this situation if you have happened to have dealt with this med before. Whether it's good or bad, I really would like to know. So, and I do appreciate everybody in the comment section. It's really good to see people commenting and telling me their stories and what you guys have going on. So that's my update, and stay strong, guys.